Okay, looks to me like we are at the top of the hour. Let's get this call underway. And once again, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Monday Go Diamond Focus call. Nice to be functional again. And again, once again, just thank you to all the team members for your support. Going through this little gallbladder situation. I guess it's a reminder about our greatest wealth is our health. Because I can tell you, I would have gladly given up my entire business and everything else not to have had that incident that last weekend in a heartbeat. You know, it was pretty intense. But thanks to all for your support. Congratulations to all of the team in Georgia, all the teams in Georgia, and that of course includes, Macon, Georgia, with Dee Dee Shaw and all of her leaders for putting on a blockbuster event, really a record breaker. Pretty close to 300 people, and of course Team Atlanta and everybody associated with that team, from Hazel Harry, Lisa Horsley, and all the other leaders, Tony Fleming, etc., that make up the Atlanta organization. Sorry if I don't mention your name, there's too many to mention, for a blockbuster there also. The tour has been a great success thus far, and yes, there is a couple of events this weekend in Michigan, Grand Rapids, and Carolina. I'm not sure I'll be attending those events. I may need this week to really just take it easy. Uncle Russ has given his orders, and one of his orders is that I don't get on a plane. And so I don't know if I want to, go against his orders. You know what that looks like, right? So, but I'll know more, probably by the end of today. I'm seeing my doctor tomorrow, and we'll find out. Having said all of that, feeling a lot better and ready to move forward and do what's got to be done. So on that note, as we all know, we're now November 4th. 1 month before the holidays, 2 months before the new year. We are in full. We're basically at full speed. Everybody is ramped up. All events are taking place. As per schedule, more events are popping into the schedule. Lots of results with the XM burn, and basically everything that is taking place is setting us up for the new year. I'm not going to repeat the same training that I've been doing, or the same story or vision that I've been projecting regarding takeoff in 2050 or 2014 down the runway, 2015, 16, 17, getting liftoff. I think we're all very clear on that. I think really what matters at this point is what we're going to do, and how we're going to do it to be in front of that reality. There's no question. Make no mistake. There's no doubt whatsoever that this is how Zija will unfold going forward, the opportunity, the growth of the company, and the new success stories for 2014. I will tell you that there's rumors that our convention is going to be at the Mandalay Bay next year. That has not been officially announced, but that's what I heard. And so if you hear it, there's a good chance it's going to happen. So Vegas next year, and that'll give us a chance to come in 2 or 3 days early, maybe. Catch a couple of shows, do a few dinners, lots of camaraderie, lots of interaction, and have an entire hotel to ourselves. So we're expecting all of that in mind, what we do today, what we do tonight, what we do tomorrow, and of course each and every day after following makes all the differences to where we end up next October. Our business and life in general is not about doing a massive activity or a wind sprint, for a week or for a month. I know that I talk about I like to do 90-day wind sprints, but I do them consistently, right? So it's not like I do them once and then I don't do them again. I do them quite consistently. But in the end, whether you're doing a massive action wind sprint for 90 days or you're doing a little bit each day, right? A few positive steps each day, planting a few seeds each day, talking to a few new people each day, it really doesn't matter so long as we're doing a little something each day. The compounding effect of that, as all of that stuff adds up and compounds, will lead us to success 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years down the road. That's the key. It's one of the things I learned at age 27 when I got into this business of network distribution. And I used to listen to Zig Ziglar, who has recently passed away, and Jim Rohn, who has also passed away. So the old generation of personal development trainers have been replaced with the new generation, the online guys and the etc. But the basic fundamental principles, the philosophies which they taught, were the ones that I employed and the ones that led to success. And Zig Ziglar talked about, the difference between a big shot and a little shot is the big shot is the little shot that kept on shooting. Right? Basically, what he was saying is keep on keeping on. You keep doing the do things no matter what. Right? And make no mistake, in the early days, I was doing a lot of activity. I mean, a lot of activity, and getting, relatively speaking, little or no results. There wasn't a lot of success that I had relative to the amount of energy and effort I was putting in. Not much at all. And so that can be discouraging sometimes. You think, like, I've just been doing this thing, I've been hitting it, I've been talking to so many people, I've done so many presentations, I've handed out so many tools, and in our day, I've handed out so many videos, I've sent out so many packages, I've invited so many people to our weekly meeting that haven't shown up, and one thinks that they haven't made any progress. Well, I was trained that each and every time I did an action, I was actually one step closer to success. And these aren't just words that sound good. The fact is that each and every time I took forward action, and each and time we all take action, we are refining our skills. We're getting better. We're not getting worse, we're getting better. I've never seen a person do something over and over again and get worse at it each time they do it. That just doesn't happen. Right? So what really happens is each time we do it, each time we make a phone call, each time we put on an event, each time we invite a new guest, each time we do a presentation, each time we do an invitation, we are getting better than the last time. We're learning what works, what doesn't work. We're just refining our skills. And all of a sudden, and there's no real line that you can actually distinguish, but all of a sudden, we we find that we've got really good. I mean, we've just got so good at it that we make an invitation, we do a presentation, and our results become 80 to 90% positive in terms of a new enrollment or moving a new person into growing in the business. All of a sudden, that's what happens. And we can't actually measure or distinguish that moment in time where that in fact happens. What I can tell you is it is guaranteed 100% to happen. Mark Holmes and all the rest of the people on this line that I'm working with, and maybe we need to work a little closer here and there. Same type of situation. All of a sudden, something happens, and we're propelled to an entirely new level, whole new level of success. And so I just want to let everybody know that it doesn't matter how fast that success happens for us. It doesn't matter if we made huge progress this year or last year. Everybody's going to have progress at different levels and at different speeds. Now, do you want to advance your progress? Do you want to increase the speed at which you have success? There is a path to do that. There is most certainly a path to do that. Let me give you that path right now. And I'm going to tell you the path. Whether you do it or not, it's an entirely different story. But I will tell you the path, and then you can choose whether you're going to exercise that path or not. Okay? The path to advancing success is basically personal development. It is the willingness and the focus on refining our skills and developing new skills, working on our interpersonal skills and our own, and the maturing of our own emotions and everything else that makes us up who we are. Now, personal development it comes in many forms. There's personal development as it relates to leadership, personal development as it relates to physical, social, personal development as it relates to presentation, language, maturity, ego, dealing with our egos, all these things, how we dress, our refinements, our relationships, and so forth. And by the way, there is no one person, certainly not me, that's arrived at any particular location or level of success in personal development. It's an ongoing process that never ends so long as we're on this planet. I'll give you one example of personal development for me. One area of personal development / discipline / taking care of things that are important is me taking time for me, which I don't do very well. I don't do it to a point where I can, let's say, overwork my body, not take time to sit down and eat properly, certainly not take time to sit down and eat the right things. And that lack of personal development, or that lack of personal discipline, led to an incident this weekend. Right? So that's an example of personal development right there. Right? I mean, there's no one to blame but myself in terms of being responsible for for things that I need to be responsible for. So I got an earful from a whole lot of people, right? But that's an example of personal development. I got the business side all done. Personal development as it relates to business and making money and building a team and leadership. I've done reasonably well there, but I've put myself in the second or third level of importance of taking care of me. So just an example. So just everybody knows that everybody's got work. I have work too, and it's okay, right? It's okay, but it's important that we recognize that. So, as it relates to personal development, this area of focus is where we can dramatically advance success in any area of life. And so, where do we gain this information? There's a lot of places. There's a lot of tapes. I say tapes, sorry. That's my era. There's a lot of CDs. There's a lot of downloads. There's a lot of MP3s. There's a lot of books. If you like to read, I'm not a reader personally. I like to listen. I learn much more from listening than I do from reading. Okay? There's a lot of reading. Listening or reading. There's a lot of various seminars. There's a lot of trainings. And there's a lot of areas that we can work to refine our skills so that when we present or we go to recruit or we talk to another person, we're much, much, much more effective in that process. We tend to recruit higher level people that bring more to the table, that have more credibility, more business acumen, more contacts, a wider center of influence, and so forth. And we are not only able to recruit them, sponsor them, but we're able to move them into action. They take action. They're willing to follow us. Okay? And that all comes from the refinement of our skills. I can look back to the people that I recruited in my early days, or tried to recruit in 1989, December 1990, my first full year in the industry. And boy, did I go after some, how would I say, duds. I went after people that I had no chance in having success by going after them. Because these people were not people that really were going anywhere or would attract anybody to the business. But in those days, I couldn't see that. I couldn't see it because I didn't have the personal development to see it. Right? So to me, I simply couldn't see they were the wrong people. I can see it today when I look back. They would never get my time today on a one-to-one because I can see that today. Personal development is about making ourselves more attractive, about refining our charisma and our aura, that aura that is around us. When we walk into a room, people know we walked into that room. When we walk into a room, the room gets brighter, right? People just know that this person is got something going on because they carry that aura around them. And I know, Dee, if you're on the line, I can tell you didn't have that aura in the hospital room, let me tell you. But, especially with that gown open in the back. So that aura develops and shows up through personal development. That's how we get that aura. And so if we work on ourselves, H, significantly as it relates to growth in our business and success in our business. The beautiful part of this whole piece that I just talked about, is that you can speed that up. You can make that what you want. It does not have to be 5 years, 10 years, 2 years. It can be as fast as you want, as much as you're willing to learn, grow, and develop. It's all there for you. The question is, will you invest or spend time, energy, and yes, resources, and a little bit of money in developing yourself? I did. I have a war chest here at my house, a library of tons of cassette tapes. I got a whole box of cassettes. I mean, I got hundreds of cassettes from all the cassettes that I collected and listened to, from all the different training, the ones that I bought. I used to buy, there was like sort of $28, $30. Every 2 weeks I bought a new, on different things, goal setting and the art of presentation and all the various trainings from the personal development section of the bookstore here in Toronto at an audio cassette area. So I've got tons of those. I got a whole library of videos. I have a number of DVDs, and I have lots and lots and lots and lots of books that I've collected, some of which I've gone through. Mostly in the 90s is when, my heavy training took place. The stuff that I do now in 2000 is a little different, more on the spiritual stuff, which I have lots of catch up to do, and that's, the purpose of Israel trips and all of that stuff. So, my point is, to everybody on the line today, from a pure leadership standpoint, from going to the next level, from getting out in front of what we do here, is continue to develop and refine your skills. Get to the point where you are so good. You are so good. You are so irresistible that when you talk to somebody, it's very hard for them to say no. They can't. Because they know that you're going places. They absolutely know. They feel it, they see it, every instinct in their body says to them, this person's going to the top. They just know that. Right? And they say, I'm getting on board with you. Because I know if I'm on board, if I'm on your coattails, I'll get pulled to the top. And when you can project that, success becomes a no-brainer. It just happens naturally. You don't even have to work for it. I mean, do I really have to work hard for success that I have today? The answer is not really. I work hard, but the results are so dramatic that it's not really hard work, right? It's not really hard work, really, because the results are there, and they've been there for many years. Probably I'd say the last 15 years of my 24 career, it hasn't been hard work. The first years, I really had to work to figure this thing out. And then there was some results, but I had to be really consistent. I had to really be pounding to get those results. And then it just seemed to flow in with little or no, with not a lot of hard work or effort, because the skill sets were there. And so I say to you, for everybody on the line today, make this a goal and a focus of yours, not only these last couple months of this year, but all of next year. couple of things, and I, as a result of not being at the event, I'll throw this out to you. I do have that there are a number of costs and a number of revenue shares and stuff that goes to charity. So please understand, this is not just a, it's not just a profit center. That there's much more to it. On the series that I put together, the art of network distribution, there's a lot of material in there that can help you advance in a number of areas of the business, certainly give you lots of nuances, lots of language. And I know there's a lot of people on the line today from both Atlanta and Macon. If anybody does want that series, and I won't be doing this forever, but there might be something I do with the company on it. But for now, if you send me a personal note, either, probably text is the best, or Facebook, I will forward that to my assistant, send your name and phone number, and he will give you a half-price download on that. I will not be putting that public, so it's not going to be on the website. But for anybody that has an intention of having that, you have 11 hours of material broken down into 11 different segments with 15-minute concepts, so that you can really master many, many different aspects of our business. I know it's $187, so it'll be something like $90 or $95. So if anybody does want to download that, send me a text message, and I will have my assistant Alan call you and backdoor it somehow. So outside of all of that, the best is yet to come. NZJ International, just getting started. Make no mistake about this. Make no mistake. Don't say that you didn't know. Don't say nobody told you. This company hasn't yet launched. And in 2014, 15, and 16, you'll see yet another upward surge of the company. More success. More people reaching new ranks. More great stories. And just make sure some of those stories are yours or people on your team. That's the key. Congratulations once again to everybody down in Georgia for great events this past weekend. And thanks for stepping up, taking on the leadership role, and making them great regardless of circumstances. With that, everybody, thank you very much. Have an awesome day, an awesome week, and we'll catch you on the Millionaires in Training call tonight. Thank you, everybody. The lines are open. Well, Clayton, Riverside, Chicago.